right, looks like we're live. I'm going to give it just a couple seconds to see if people will join us. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jamie Chavez. I'm the President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I am here with Brett Popish and Bryan Head, our moderators for the Readers Professional Development Book Club through the Chamber of Commerce. So welcome. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, Jamie.
And
Thanks.
We are here today to talk about the book club and the newest book that we're going to be reading this month, which is The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. And so I will turn it over to you guys to talk about the book, why you chose it, and what people can expect from book club.
Cool. I'll let you take it away there, Bryan.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the Westminster Chamber Book Club, we started this a few months back. We went through How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, kind of the classic personal professional development book. Then we went into Extreme Ownership by a couple of retired Navy SEALs. That was a lot of fun. The group has been growing each time we've done it. We've had some great discussions. And so as we were talking at the last meeting, we decided to do The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. This is a book about getting closer to your goals and who you want to become. Kind of fleshes out some really interesting concepts like, what's the difference between a goal and a standard that you set for yourself and that kind of thing. So just an opportunity to really look at where we are today, where we want to go, and do that in an environment with other professionals from the chamber, people that we know or you may not know, but kind of draw on their experiences. And really the thing I love most about the book club is the discussions that we have. We use the book as kind of a launching pad to talk about different stuff. People are throwing out real examples from their own lives or businesses, and then other people can kind of chime in with their insights. So the book is a great springboard for those kinds of conversations. The reason I think this one's a great one is, it's broken up into different sections, different chapters with smaller sections, kind of bite-sized sections within each chapter. So I think it'll create a really good framework for us to have some cool conversations.
Yeah. And on that note, as you were talking there, that book is easily consumable in that, it has those small chunks that you're talking about. But it is a fairly quick read. But, really the concept of it is, the power of one more. It's one more rep, one more exercise, one more sales call, one more something that you're doing on an everyday basis. Because the idea behind one more is it has a compounding effect. Just as, if you shortchange yourself at the gym, every day you go to the gym, you're like, hey, I'll skip that extra set or I'll skip that extra rep. Really, that has the opposite effect, right? A negative compounding effect. This is talking about, again, with exercise and business and all the different aspects that Ed Mylett covers, just that compounding effect. But I think you all are in for a treat when you get towards the end of the book. We talked about this briefly, Bryan, and that very last chapter for me is what kind of drove it home. I don't want to give anything away with that because you have to read it to know exactly what it is. But for me, that's where it clicked. And that very last chapter was just so impressive when he talks about his father.
Yeah. And I kind of want to, sorry, go ahead, Bryan.
Oh, I was just going to tack onto that. I had the opportunity to be involved in a workshop with my company last week, and we had a speaker come in, and he was a former track star, ran at very high levels, even in some of the Olympic trials for the Sydney Olympics. Great speaker. But one of the things, we actually met the day after Noah Lyles won the 100-meter dash in the Olympics. And if you watch the Olympics or are an Olympic fan, that was the closest race that has ever been, and it's the fastest any 8 guys have ever run the 100 meters from first place to last place. That's the one that they had to go to a photo finish. So Noah Lyles beat the competition by, I think it was like 2/100ths or 1,000ths of a second, like a very small margin. And the speaker actually knew some of Lyle's coaches. And so he told the story, or he gave us the illustration. That race, Noah Lyles finished in 9.79 seconds, so under 10 seconds. Leading up to the Olympics, so the last 3 years, he has been practicing between 3 and 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that's between 15 and 20 hours of practice, repetitions, running races. And that doesn't count the diet and the, watching film. This is actually on the track, doing workouts in the weight room, that kind of thing. And his point was, if you add up all the times that Lyles has run that race in his entire life from the time that he was a kid, those seconds wouldn't even add up to 1 week of practice, the amount of time he spent on the track practicing. So the way I look at this book is, there's so much, like Brett mentioned, there's so much power in the compounding of effort. And you'll find that in your own life. And then I also think the book club is an opportunity to practice. It's, you're not exceptional, or you're not great because of what you do when you perform. You're great and you're exceptional because of what you do to prepare. And so the book club is an opportunity to practice, to take a rep, to learn from other professionals, to talk about books like this that have real application in real life. So I'm super excited, kind of coming out of the Olympics to with so many examples of where these things are true, to go into a book like this with the type of people that we have in the room from a diverse group of industries and that kind of thing, and experience levels, but all help each other to get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit less about the book, because we don't want to spoil too much about it, but more just about the book club itself and why people should come to this and participate with us.
Well, I'll take that. I think one thing we've developed with our conversations in the book club is, I feel like we all get kind of vulnerable with our businesses and our habits and the things that, kind of we struggle with. It's not all grandstanding and grandiose. Hey, we're great at this, we're great at that. We really talk through where our struggles have come in with the couple books that we've read. And I think that's powerful because, if I'm dealing with something, maybe Bryan or, David or, somebody else might have a little epiphany that I can take away that can kind of get me over that hump, or at the very least, get me to realize I'm not the only one dealing with those same types of things. Right. So, that's what I think is powerful about the book club. It's all of us kind of helping and supporting one another, and, not making people feel like they're lesser than because you have challenges. We all have challenges we're dealing with in business. And it just kind of solidifies that, we do have that support system.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's something to be said for kind of that group accountability. I mean, just talk it through, but it's also like a super relaxed, kind of safe environment to just kind of throw out what you're, where you see your areas of improvement and that kind of thing. I think people have gotten comfortable talking about where they might have weaknesses that they need to fill the gap. I know last time, I threw out the example that, like, I'm really good at discipline in certain areas, and then other areas I'm not so good. And, that launched a conversation about some health stuff and that kind of thing. And I think a few of us are going to do a health challenge together coming up. So it's just kind of a good environment to be able to come and sharpen your pencil without fear of really, being judged or anything like that.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we apply a lot of these principles to more than just our professional development, to a lot of other aspects. I know parenting for sure, parenting and health and wellness, all of that. So definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys want to bring up about the book or the book club?
Well, one question that I had, I'm not sure if we solidified it. Are we trying to finish the entire book before we meet, or are we going to want to go through half, or what are we thinking?
It's a pretty quick read. I think it's worked pretty well to break them up over a couple different meetings, just because it's more digestible for folks. Maybe half and half. This time, it's like Brett said, leading off. It's a pretty easy book to consume, but for those watching, we'd love you to read the whole thing and have your takeaways. But we've had people show up that have that are at various points within the book, and they're still able to engage in the conversation. There's no pop quizzes, so you're good to just come.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a reminder, we are meeting August 27th at 4 p.m. At Kokopelli, and we're going to be in the big party room at Kokopelli this time. And we've got some other people joining us. Maya, I hope you read the book and come to the book club. Thanks for being on today. And as Dave is pointing out, it is free on Audible right now for anyone who subscribes to Audible. So if you're an Audible person, then you have no excuse. You can listen to the book for free and come and participate.
For sure. And if you don't think you have time to come, there's a chapter in the book specifically geared for you. So you could skip ahead to that chapter and then decide to come.
Awesome. All right. Well, if no one else has any questions or if there's nothing else to add, I thank you guys for joining me again today. And I encourage everybody who's watching to read the book and come and join us on August 27th to discuss it. You just have to read the first half and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks, everybody.
Looking forward to it. See ya.
Happy Monday.
See ya.